Alright, Techie. What's your name again?
Delta, Alpha, Neo, Nu, Yorick.
I'm just gonna call you Danny, but today's Monday, so I'm gonna explain something we like to do back home, and that's play games.
Games are illogical. They hold no purpose.
What are you talking about? Games keep your mind active, calculating, planning, and creating. And despite what you techies say, creation is the mother of advancement and betterment. So I'm going to bring back a bit of the flesh with this game. What game is it? A game called Drunken Bear Fighter. You can find it on Rook, Rowan, and Deckard. What's this game about? Look, I'll be honest, even the book doesn't know, and that's the fun part about it. I actually never run a game of this, surprisingly enough, but I did play it while the GM was drunk as fuck. In fact, on a few of my videos, you'll see someone talking about how me and a friend Alex made her drunk cry while we demanded to steal a truck despite having a car. Honestly, I could go into a whole thing, but let's talk about this game a bit. So, the game describes itself as an RPG where you play as a Russian agent who combats the Drunken Bear menace in modern-day Moscow underground. Is this necessary? No! You can play as something else? Yeah! What is your goal? Also yes.
So, this game is loose on its rules. The rules matter very little. It allows you to be whatever.
Absolutely correct. Of course, the major question is, how do you play the game? You roll a single d6 and pray you roll below the relevant skill you're rolling for. Of course, you need to know the stats in order to play the game, so what are the stats? Well, they are power, which is your raw strength and, power. Speed is your agility and dexterity, essentially. Charm is your talking ability. And Drunken Bear knowledge. What's that? It essentially lets you add a number to another die roll, which is odd, but I think everything about this game is odd. Now, what skills are there for these stats? Well, that's up to you. Be hyper-specific or rather general, and you can choose one skill per relevant stat. You could pick something like punching or kung fu for power, dodge or nerve strike for speed, talk or distract for charm, or how to tie shoes while on something illegal for DBK. Look, I know it doesn't sound like it makes sense, but it doesn't need to. All of you or just the GM should be hitting the bottle like my paw on a Friday if you're playing this game. Equipment is a bit in the same vein. According to the single page that makes up this entire book, you get 3 pieces of equipment, 1 pistol and 2 of your choice, including, but not limited to, weapons, vehicles, and clothing. I suppose if you want, your GM could argue that if you don't outright state some of the starting equipment is clothes, you're just stark naked, holding your boomstick between your ass cheeks. I'd probably run it that way, actually. Now I just realized in this moment I have not actually explained how you get the stats. Take the numbers 1 through 4 and put them into the relevant stat. Your choice as to where. Skills are just using the stat they're tied to. In all honesty, this isn't a complex game, and it's not meant to be taken seriously. Now, combat is pretty odd. You roll a straight speed test to see if you avoid taking damage. You want to get below your score. If you don't, you subtract the number they rolled on their attack from your relative stat that is being attacked. A knife might take out some speed if gone for the leg, A fist to the face might take out some charm. A grapple would remove some power. Got the idea, essentially? Well, now we've got enemies. They're drunken bears. They follow the essential ideas, but have 3 subtypes as well. Drunken bears, the standard, have a power of 5 and a speed of 3, but advanced drunken bears have the same power with a better speed of 1. Ninjas bears have speed and power reversed, and bear kingpins are the big bosses with 4 in every stat. What's left for this game? Absolutely nothing, but that bar at the bottom says I still have a lot more to rant about, so let's talk a bit about my experience with this game. Like I said, I've played this once before, and it is forever stuck in my memory. The woman who was running the game was a few bottles in and was laughing at everything. The guy I was playing with was British and somehow sober as a stone. I was about to go to work myself, as I was a pizza delivery driver at the time, so I couldn't drink. I don't drink anyway, but boy howdy do I wish I did. We were set as American citizens, specifically National Park Rangers, who had to take care of some escaped bears who had wandered into town in order to get some whiskey. Why whiskey? Don't ask questions you don't want the GM to think too hard on. We were told to retrieve the bears and return them into the national park. What do we have to do this with? We spent, well, half an hour trying to hijack a car despite having a vehicle that we could have easily used. We could also have just picked up the keys and driven away. But we decided to be difficult because it was funny. Now, once we finally got the boss's car, not our own, we drove to the nearest gas station to get snacks. We got ourselves a bag of Doritos and a Diet Coke. Why Diet Coke? Because I'm diabetic and I don't expect anyone to take my Diet Coke. Apparently a lot of people actually like that drink for some unholy reason. I don't even like it, and I drink it like an addict. After that, we realized we locked the car and didn't actually have keys to it. So we spent another 10 to 20 minutes trying to get back into it. We could not succeed in that, so we stole another truck. At this point, the GM was crying. She was laughing so hard, at least I hope that's why she was in tears. We might have just pissed her off, which is sort of what we do best. We eventually decided to go to one of 3 places to find bears. There were 3 we needed. We decided the best places would be, obviously, a bar, a bowling alley, since here in the US they almost always have a bar, and the gas station we just left. Obviously, we went to the bar first and immediately jumped on the bear who had been on the counter drinking. We wrestled him to the ground, tied him up, and threw him into the truck we had stolen. We then got drunk at the bar and talked to the bartender, who was now a bear too. Both the California bear and an actual bear. He decided to join us of his own free will, but what about the last one? Well, we gave up on him, because I was about to leave for work. We kidnapped the guy at the gas station and gaslit the boss into believing that he was actually a bear disguised as a teenager. I left for work immediately because I always arrive early, but the memories were stuck in my head. This game is free and is only 1 page long. It's easy to get into, easy to understand, and it's simple to play. So simple that to get enough people to play, it's mindless fun with enough freedom to do what you want, while also having a world written enough where you don't need to think if you don't want to as the GM or a player. All in all, I honestly give this a 97%. I know, 3 points shy of 100, but there are some problems. It can't be done in long-form games. This is only intended for short one-shots for mindless fun, and there's absolutely no enhancement system if you want to make long-form campaign out of it. This game knows its audience, and at least it doesn't try to be anything more. But it'll leave you wanting more, but with nothing more to have. Now, Danny, I owe you an explanation on Titans, don't I?
Yes, I believe you promised such a thing, despite the fact I should understand and know more than you.
Well, you don't. You don't even know why Tyranids are here.
Wait, you know what brought the Tyranids to the Milky Way galaxy?
No? Okay, yeah, I do, but I don't know if I can explain it to you, so shove off.